background if you hear echo or something.
It's live right now. Assalamu alaikum. This is Clifton Raheem Bradley. I hear something in your background, Johnny. But thing is, there's a news flash that Donald Trump, there was just there was a assassination attempt on his life, and I'm going to share this.
The first time Vice President Harris and former President Trump met face to face was right here on this debate stage. And within minutes, the criticisms were flying. Thanks for being with us tonight. I'm Lisa Hughes. This is the first and possibly the only presidential debate between Trump and Harris. And it was a chance for the candidates to drill down on the issues that matter to voters, including immigration and the border, foreign conflicts in Gaza and Ukraine, and the key issue for many Americans, the economy. Our team coverage begins tonight with our political analyst, John Keller, and the key moments from this debate.
We're going to look at this.
What's up? Good debate.
You see, have fun.
For the first time since 2016, a presidential debate began with a handshake.
She's a Marxist.
And off the top, Trump seemed to have Harris on the defensive on the number one issue of the campaign.
We've had a terrible economy because inflation which is really known as a country buster. It breaks up countries. We have inflation like very few people have ever seen before, probably the worst in our nation's history.
Donald Trump actually has no plan for you because he is more interested in defending himself than he is in looking out for you.
What we're going to do is we're going to come back to that. Okay, that is important.
Well, let's bring you some news just coming in. The FBI says that former President Donald Trump was the subject of an apparent assassination attempt at his Florida golf club. That just confirmed in the last few moments. Previously, we were questioning the motivation behind the incident. And police were keen not to speculate, but that confirmation now coming in from the FBI that former President Donald Trump was the subject of an apparent assassination attempt at his Florida golf club. We'd heard from the Secret Service acknowledging that shots were fired on their part. They're acting in conjunction with the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, investigating what they'd previously described as a protective incident involving former President Donald Trump that occurred shortly before 2 p.m. Also confirming that the president is safe. But the very latest, the FBI have now confirmed that former President Donald Trump was the subject of an apparent assassination attempt at his Florida golf club. Well, let's bring you some news just coming
off, and I'm going to bring him in. And Johnny, you know what? There was a assassination attempt. You know, my co-host with me, Johnny, and you know what? This happened in Florida. There was a second assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump, and the FBI is working diligently, you know, on this along with the Secret Service. And I want to know, you know, I think there's no call to try to kill somebody because they're running for president and you don't agree with their policies. What is your assessment of this? Because I'm just getting news of this, Johnny.
Well, with the first attempt, you know, that was kind of sketchy to me. Kind of, you know, I was kind of skeptical of that. But this second attempt, you know, I think you'd be hard pressed to make a case for this being staged. You know, it's just, you know, it's starting to look bad for the country. It's not good. It's just not good. I've talked time when you hear me talk about voting, about politics, again and again, my theme is about stability of the country. And this is not good for the stability of the country.
You know what? I agree with that. We're going to discuss that, and we're going to look at excerpts of the debate with people that love debates and people that love politics. We want to know, who do you think will make the best president? Former President Donald Trump or Vice President Kamala Harris? But the assassination attempt, I think that it is barbaric. I think it is repugnant in nature to try to kill someone that you may not agree with their policies. You may not agree with their policies. You may not. But to silence them by taking their lives, I have a big issue. I have an issue, and I would like to say, for the listening audience out there, for people that are listening, there's a lot of people listening on YouTube, Facebook, and on Twitter, and we'll share this broadcast. But I would like to say that with the first time assassination attempt, I'm going to say this. I thought it looked kind of fishy, because I'm one of these individuals that believes in conspiracies. I believe in conspiracies, and I can back that up sometimes. Sometimes I can't back that up. What did you think about the first assassination attempt when he was out in the open at one of his rallies? He had a lot of people, as Donald said, these numbers you have never seen before. But what did you think about that?
I mean, I really don't want to speculate, to be honest, because on the one hand, you recognize there's a lot of political gamesmanship. It's part of Americana. It's part of the world. Mm-hmm. And then when you consider that, somebody's life was involved, I don't really want to speculate, but mm-hmm. about that one. But I would say that I'm just not, I cannot go with the idea that, okay, these two assassination attempts were staged. I mean, that suggests that maybe one could have been, but I'm not buying that, both of these were staged.
Well, I would say, and again, I love this show because me and him, we look at things in a different way. We see the world in a different way on a lot of things. I'm one of these to believe that, how could a man get up on a roof and not be noticed? And the FBI and the CIA had no knowledge of it whatsoever. And then there are drones that are flying around, and there are satellites that are flying around. But to the listening audience, you got to remember, I'm kind of wacky anyway. I believe in conspiracies, So, but I say all this, but I have no circumstantial evidence to prove that. I have nothing to prove that. All I'm going off of hearsay. So as he says, it's not rocket science. But I'm just going off the top of my head. Okay, okay. Mm-hmm.
Look, that first one, whether you say it was staged or not, there was definitely some negligence on the part of Secret Service. Obviously, I mean, mm-hmm. I don't think that could be denied. Mm-hmm. And besides him even getting a shot off being negligent, I think the response mm-hmm. came up short. Because that's not the way I would expect Secret Service to respond.
Okay.
If I'm on that Secret Service detail, mm-hmm. that would have been the only possible shot the attempted assassin got. He would not have had opportunity for a second shot. And when I say opportunity for a second shot, it doesn't seem like he got a second shot at Trump. It doesn't look like
Yes, I'm listening.
it kind of looks like he was put down. The part that concerned me is him throwing his fists up in the air after the attempt. Now, if I'm on Secret Service, detail, he doesn't get a chance to do that.
Oh, do you think? I mean, you think that's right if you're on there, but do you think the average person can stop somebody from throwing their hands up? Fight! I don't think.
Yes. A competent Secret Service agent can't prevent that.
Yeah, but but the second attempt, okay, for people that are looking at this in history, in our history, you know what? It is 9/15/2024, made a second attempt to assassinate former President Donald Trump because of his policies, because of what he stands for. He stands for Make America First, Make America, and all. I mean, but a lot of people say there's rhetoric. Okay, but I don't believe that. But my partner over there believes it's rhetoric. And he believes it's rhetoric. He said, my partner believes, but I better let my partner talk for himself. Sorry. I believe
what?
It's rhetoric when he says, former President Donald Trump says, America first. That's rhetoric, in your opinion. I know.
Yeah, that's rhetoric. He really want to say Donald.
But do you think it was worthy of what happened with the attempted assassination today in Florida at his golf club around?
Do I think what?
Do you think it was warranted?
Do I think what?
Somebody pointing a gun at former President Donald Trump to assassinate him. Do you think that?
No, it wasn't warranted. No.
Okay. And it's and you know what
warranted? No, of course not.
Okay. And what do the people that are listening to this, what do you think? How did that touch your life? How did it affect you? Did it shock you that they tried to do this to former President Donald Trump again? And but there are a lot of people that are looking in the chat room, and you know what, if you like this, you know what, give us a thumbs up or give us a thumb down. And what we're going to do is we're going to analyze the debates, okay? And there are a group of people that say, you know what, Kamala Harris, Vice President Kamala Harris won that debate. She won big. But there are other people on the other side saying that Donald Trump, you know what, he lost. And I am very interested. If you want to call in, you know what, call in and let us know, what do you think? Who do you think won the debate? Who lost the debate? Leave a message in the chat room. But there's a heck of a lot of people that are looking on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter. I see that already, but they might be so interested in what me and you are talking about. But Johnny, I'm gonna play this. You got to comment on that before I start this video.
Which video?
Of the debate.
Oh well, I mean, I would say, I don't like the way that people talk about debates because it sounds third gradish.
Mm-hmm.
They say this person won, this person lost. It's like, when third graders debate or have an argument, and you might have a really smart third grader that might say something that's like really on a upper gradesman level, and all the people all the little children around, they don't quite know what it means, but they know he said something really smart, but they don't comprehend it. And then the person he's talking to come back and say, "Yeah, your mama," and they go, "Oh, he said your mama." That's kind of how these debates are, man.
Uh-huh. So, but you know what? I think, you know what? Now, I like to know what the audience, what's the audience think? Does the audience think that the debate is not necessary? It's necessary to look at the cognitive ability to an individual to answer rational questions, because they will be, at some point, they will be put in that situation to make major decisions to either influence their party to support this policy or to disagree with the policy. So I can't see it the way it's wrong, because it gives you the ability to look at an individual's cognitive ability and to look at their judgment. You know, as former President Joe Biden proved that during the first debate. So I would say debates are necessary. You know, but you would say that not, huh? I don't agree with that.
Well, I mean, I would like, again, I guess wishful thinking, idealistic, however you say it. I would prefer a debate where people, when you ask them about their record, they don't respond and tell you something about the opponent's record. They answer according to their own record.
No, you have to take, to me, okay, you have to talk about that person's record and tell them what you stand for, and tell them how wrong they are with the political stance that they are making.
Right. That's when, when the question is about their record. So when you are questioning about your record, you respond, the other person gets a chance to reply. That's when you could talk about the other person's record.
Yeah.
But when they ask you about your record and you start off talking about your opponent's record, that's not a debate to me.
Well, I mean, I would say if you start out talking about your opponent's record and why you oppose and what your idea is, I don't see anything wrong with it.
Because that's not the question. That's what's wrong with it. It's not the question. You were asked about your record, so answer concerning your record.
Mm-hmm. How many people out there, if you agree with what he's saying and what I'm saying? I'm interested in taking a poll. Okay, but what we're gonna do is this is not. I don't think this is gonna be a long show, but you know what? There are people that are looking. So you know what? What we're gonna do is we're gonna take a look at excerpts of a news agency that did a short synopsis, commentary on the debate, and it's like 1 minute, 1 minute and a half. And you know what? I'm going to play it all the way through if the technology allows me to do it. Okay, and we will be sitting on the side listening, because we're gonna comment on this. We're gonna comment because both of us are opinionated people, very opinionated. So we're gonna comment. Okay, so let me see. So I'm setting this up right now, and
the first time Vice President Harris and former President Trump met face to face was right here on this debate stage. And within minutes, the criticisms were flying. Thanks for being with us tonight. I'm Lisa Hughes. This is the first and possibly the only presidential debate between Trump and Harris. And it was a chance for the candidates to drill down on the issues that matter to voters, including immigration and the border, foreign conflicts in Gaza and Ukraine, and the key issue for many Americans, the economy. Our team coverage begins tonight with our political analyst, John Keller, and the key moments from this debate.
Yeah.
What's up? Good debate.
See, have fun. For the first time since 2016, a presidential debate began with a handshake.
She's a Marxist.
And off the top, Trump seemed to have Harris on the defensive on the number one issue of the campaign.
We've had a terrible economy because inflation which is really known as a country buster. It breaks up countries. We have inflation like very few people have ever seen before, probably the worst in our nation's history.
Donald Trump actually has no plan for you because he is more interested in defending himself than he is in looking out for you.
But when the debate turned to abortion rights, Harris regained her footing.
They have abortion in the 9th month. They even have, and you can look at the governor of West Virginia, the previous governor of West Virginia, not the current governor, is doing an excellent job, but the governor before, he said the baby will be born and we will decide what to do with the baby. In other words, we'll execute the baby.
One does not have to abandon their faith or deeply held beliefs to agree. The government, and Donald Trump certainly, should not be telling a woman what to do with her
She has
body.
conviction.
And Trump's relative calm slipped away when he reached for a debunked right-wing talking point about alleged migrant crime.
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening in our country, and it's a shame.
There have been no credible reports of specific claims of pets being harmed, injured, or abused by individuals within the immigrant community.
Well, I've seen people on television.
You talk about extreme.
Back and forth it went, with Harris
my God.
increasingly getting under Trump's skin.
Someone who has openly expressed disdain for members of our military. Understand what it would mean if Donald Trump were back in the White House with no guardrails.
I probably took a bullet to the head because of the things that they say about me. They talk about democracy. I'm a threat to democracy. They're the threat to democracy with a fake Russia investigation
We do have a lot to
that
get-
went nowhere.
We have
Hey, so Johnny, what do you think when abortion? I mean, I tried to fact check, but I guess I couldn't. I had no information whatsoever that there was a governor that made a decision that, you know what did we decide? Whether we're going to take the baby, get rid of the baby in the 9th month. I execute it, I keep it. I don't know if that's facts. I don't believe that's factual, but can you expound upon that? I appreciate that.
Yeah, see, that's what happened there is that what you got was some presidential debate gangbanging, right? So Trump never said that someone made a decision to execute any full-term babies or anything like that.
Yeah.
That was the female anchor right there that you saw. That what he said was that Governor Walz has expressed that opinion that, you know, you can have a full-term abortion or abort babies directly after birth. That's what he's saying that Walz said. He never said that this was a law or policy passed in any state, but she came out and called herself fact-checking something he didn't even say.
Okay. And you know, but nah, wait a minute. I thought he did say, but you say in this other rhetoric. I think this is rhetoric where he keeps on, you know, first of all, he was invited to the Black News Commentary or appellate press, and he kept saying, is she black? Is she white? What difference does it make? But you know what? But in all fair, he said, I read this. And he said, frankly, it does not make a difference to me. He said, I read this. What was your assessment of that, man? I don't even know why it's even important whether she is a black female or Latino or Indian. What difference does it make?
Well, typically it shouldn't make a difference, but it does make a difference. Why? Because she owes her position to that. Because let's follow the breadcrumbs here. Mm-hmm. When Joe Biden was losing in the 2020 election.
Yeah.
He was on a losing streak. Then he got to North Carolina. He ended up winning that election because black people came out and voted for him. So he made the declaration in response that he was going to name a minority female running mate.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So this is in response, as he said, to the black people coming out voting for him. So when he says he's going to nominate a minority female candidate,
Yeah.
obviously he's suggesting he's definitely going to nominate a woman and suggesting that this woman will be black. So she's supposed to be black.
Oh, she carry hot sauce water in her purse. Isn't she black?
Yeah, and then she listens to Drake. So I guess so.
I'm there. But she says she does carry hot sauce. She says she does carry hot sauce in her purse. Does that mean anything?
I haven't heard her say that. I heard Hillary say that, but I heard her say she listens to Drake though, which is funny. That's funny in itself.
And Tupac.
Oh, okay.
And my question is about the debate. As we talk about immigration, okay? First of all, there have been CIA operations to cause destabilization in Central America and throughout Mexico. I got that. And I don't blame them from trying to get to the United States of America, to get to a sanctuary city. Because if I had a family, I would do the same thing. Okay, but why are these sanctuary cities? There are people that are looking at this in New York, California, okay, and Chicago. Why are these sanctuary cities? Why are they allowed? Because the thing is, what it's doing is it's draining the resources from Social Security, and it's draining the resources from Medicare. Okay, so therefore, people that did not put in the Medicare or Social Security, they're entitled. So that's taken away from people that put it. Why? I'm asking you. I don't understand it. Explain it to me. You're the expert. Explain it to me.
Yeah, I'm the expert. I mean, I don't have an explanation.
Help the audience to understand, Johnny. We don't get it.
Okay. I don't have an explanation. I have an opinion, which is basically that the people that run this country, they have another agenda. It's not the same agenda that they feed us. So they don't come right out and tell you why they are allowing all of this immigration and illegal immigration and allowing the things that's happening with immigration.
Yes.
They don't tell you why, because I don't think there's transparency there.
Yeah. So are you essentially saying that, hey, Donald Trump is right? How is he going to manage to have the largest deportation in the nation? How is he going to manage that? He didn't even answer the question. I'm talking about on the debate. I'm asking you. You're the expert. I'm asking you.
Again, I think he obviously got it. Is, how can I say it? He's on the side of anti-immigration, clearly.
Yes.
But how much may be, more rhetoric than reality. So I think I get the sense that he really stands against immigration.
Yes.
But as far as having the conviction to put an absolute stop to illegal immigration, I don't know how much resolve he has. As compared to, when you compare it to the things he's personally resolved to, he's personally resolved with staying in the White House in spite of being voted out. But I don't know if his resolve is that strong against illegal immigration.
But this is his rhetoric. This is what some people say. This is his rhetoric. You know what? We're going to have a large deportation in a nation. You know what? And we got to make it so big, you can't rig. With the
sometimes, and at the same time, the reality is sometimes bigger than the dream. You know, he may be dreaming of what's the word? Expelling all of these immigrants.
Dreaming of a white Christmas. Okay, go ahead.
But you know, he I don't know. I think he could probably institute a deportation policy that would probably deport more people than any other president. But to the level of deportation that's necessary to make a dent in the numbers of illegal immigration will have to far exceed any other president. And getting that done would be really difficult, logistically and politically.
But hey, your girl Kamala Harris is supposed to be the border czar. She's supposed to hold the responsibility of keeping people out of the country, but she's letting people in in impunity. Impunity meaning no repercussions whatsoever. Why is your girl doing it? Why? Why is your girl doing this? Why? I'm asking you. You know why? Why is your girl doing this?
She's part of the system, man. She's part of the system. She's going to do what the system tells her to do.
And you're supposed to have control over your vice president like that, Johnny. Come on now. Then you know what? And you know what? Seriously now. You know what, Johnny? As we talk about immigration, for people that are listening out there in the audience, I feel so sorry for you, because what that's going to do to your generation. I don't know if you're not Generation X. I don't think you are. But what that's going to do to your generation, that with the influx of people that are coming into this country, okay, which I don't blame them, as I would too, what it's going to do is that's going to bring up the property taxes, and the rent is going to go sky high, and these mortgages are going to go sky high because you're supporting people that need help. And your people in your generation, your job wages are going to go down. Your job wages and people in your generation, they're going to go down. What is your opinion about that, brother?
Yeah. I mean, that's the economic reality of it. So that's what we can expect.
But what your generation gonna do about it? I mean, if that's the reality, I'm in Generation X. That's almost a baby boom. What is your generation called? Generation Z? I don't know. But
I have no idea. I don't even keep up with us.
People in your generation, y'all, a lot of y'all are gonna be destitute. Y'all, you know what? This is probably a generation that probably will not. My kids probably will not have more than what I have. You know, probably because with the influx of people that are coming in from Mexico, Central America, Guatemala, and El Salvador, which I don't blame them, that is going to drive the working wages down. And you know the other minus with your generation, AI technology is going to take a lot of your generations, people in your generations, jobs. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Why you agree with that? Okay, I just said that off the top of my head. It just came to me. It was just elementary the way it came to me. Well, why did you say that? Why do you agree with that?
Because that's the plan. I mean, that's the progression of where we are. And if you listen to industry leaders in the different industries, that's what they describe their plans as.
Yeah, but, Oprah did a special. Oprah, I like Oprah. She did a special, and she did a special on AI technology. She had Bill Gates on, and somebody from Microsoft and Google.
I remember that.
Okay, that was on Friday, and you know what? On ABC. And the thing is, what's so dangerous about your generation is, hey, you probably say, hey man, you know what, you got to change and go to school and learn how to fix computers. Do you understand they're making computers and androids to fix androids now? I don't know if you know that or not. They're making them to actually fix them. Did you know that?
I do now. It makes financial sense.
So, you know, the people that are listening out there, what do you think about AI technology? Does it endanger your job? Man, hey man, you got a lot of people that are looking on YouTube, but they're not, you know, they're not leaving no comments. But you know what? It's okay, you know, because if a tree falls, just because you don't see it, it doesn't mean it didn't fall and make noise. Okay, but I mean, for your generation is in trouble. Your generation. And you know what amazed me about your generation? Your generation. Your generation consistently.
My generation.
Yes, your generation consistently votes for the same people, to put the same people in office that are not even looking out for your best interests. I don't get your generation. I don't get. Can you explain that to me? How? Explain it to me.
Yeah, because our generation is distracted.
Yes.
They distract us with the pride of everything. You know, they distract us with, you know, living our particular identity. You know, it's the most important thing. Living our truth. These are the things we're distracted with. Distracted with these segmented rights. You know, so they keep us focused on things that are very personal to us.
Yes.
You know, so that our focus is very internal, while externally, which in the real world, they're just doing us bogus.
But your generation accepts it. You know what you know, back in my generation, they were
as long as you accept my identity, it don't matter. Accept my identity, and then you could just rob everything else that's important.
They're not going to accept your identity at some point. Your generation, for people that are looking at this in the future, year 2099 or beyond, your generation is in danger. Y'all are going to be asked to put a RDF chip in your finger like you're carrying your phone, and they know every place you go. They monitor your credit. You walk out on the streets. You know what? They got facial recognition thing, and you know what? Your generation. And what's dumbfounded about your generation? Most of y'all do not care, because y'all living for today. And you know what? It don't even have the gumption out of foresight to even think about this in the future. That's to you people that are looking at this in the future. Okay? Why? I don't get it. Explain that to me, Johnny. Explain that to me.
It's called bullfighting. You know,
I'm gonna say me don't understand, okay?
They got the red flag of gender identity, racial identity, of you know, men's rights, women's rights, children's rights, animals' rights, civil rights, human rights. You know, all these red flags that they wave in front of us to get us distracted from the sword that's killing us.
Yeah. In my generation, they said you had to take the red pill, or you take the blue pill. Yeah. your generation. How, you know what? For people that are listening out here, I just got to ask people out there, how was your generation the generation you belong to. I'm in Generation X. How are y'all going to compete with China? How you going to compete? How, you got kids, you're a teacher, you got kids that are in school, okay, and you give them a little grade, and you know what, the majority of the class is failing, and then you give them a curve so they don't feel bad. How is your generation intellectually going to compete if you are grading your children in your classroom on a curve? Explain it to me. I don't get it.
The same children that don't respect you.
How are you gonna compete with China? How? When their children have to be speak 2 languages to get out of 8th grade. Okay? And they go to school. How are you gonna compete with China? How? I'm asking your generation. This is your generation. How?
Man, that's a good question. It's a good question. You know, because we in the English speaking countries, a high percentage of us think that English is enough, that we shouldn't have to speak no other language because everybody else should speak English.
But why did they not? What these issues that me and you are discussing? Why are they not addressing this in the debate with Donald Trump, former President Donald Trump, and Vice President Kamala Harris? Why are they not addressing these issues like BRICS? They're not addressing AI technology. They're not addressing jobs. What is the reason? What is the reason? You're the expert. Tell us. I want to know. I want to know. You're the expert. You are the expert. Why?
Look,
Why?
when you're in school, you know, this is a common thing. Children that are in low income neighborhoods often struggle academically, often because they are they're dealing with a lot more than just academics and books and remembering their math and their English. They're dealing with life and death issues. They're dealing with no lights on. They're dealing with crime in the neighborhood, drive-bys, et cetera, et cetera. And politically, we're kind of like in the same way, where the things that you just spoke about are the weightier matters. But, you know, we're in, you know, political ghetto where we're more focused on gender identity, control of our bodies, you know, the right to, you know, kill babies, you know, this is what we're bogged down with, rather than, you know, the reality of all of these other countries are doing things that, you know, has real life advantages over the things that we're wrestling with, the petty things that we're wrestling with.
And you know what's sad? And I'm going to steal Minister Farrakhan's words. It's very sad that your generation sits back idly and watches it. It's as though y'all have capitulated and thrown your hands down. It's almost like a lot of y'all have given up. I say that because when I walk through a community college such as Kennedy King, okay, which is located in the United States of America, which is a learning institution, and I walk down and I can hear an echo through the hallway and maybe see 1 or 2 people. Your generation has failed. Why?
I wouldn't say that this generation has given up, because in order to give up, you have to know that you're in a fight. I don't think they know that they're in a fight. I think they think, you know, everything's about flexing and flossing.
Why? Because in my generation, we were taught that education was a way to remove the darkness. I don't know what your generation is. I say a lot of people in your generation. It's a lot of people in your generation that do not even participate in the elections. So they're giving up because they feel that the politician does not look out for their best interests, but yet your generation does not hold a politician accountable. I don't get it. I don't get it. Can you, since you're in that generation, can you explain that to me? For the people that are looking at this in the future, this is what's happening in 2024. I'm talking about your generation will vote someone in office that does not have their best interests in mind. That politician is bought and paid for, but therefore, even after they get in, they give you a little party, giving you chicken wings and Wildwood Pops, and you think Wildwood Pops and hot Cheetos. You think they ain't done something, but your generation put people in office that don't give a damn about their interests. They're looking out towards the interests of the rich and powerful, but your generation accepts it. Why? I don't get it. I don't get it, Johnny.
Yeah. We live in a generation where people are one issue voters, and that one issue.
Why?
I'm telling you.
Okay.
This is why people. You know, it's funny. God gave humans more intelligence than any other creature.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But we don't behave as such.
Yes.
We have the potential for wisdom, but we don't use it. You know, we settle for petty non-issues like gender identity. You know, when we got wars going on, we got nuclear arsenals everywhere, being threatened with nuclear war.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we've got a potential civil war. It's so many dangers out here. So many things going on, but we are bogged down fighting each other over gender identity, over gender itself. You know, you get women hating men. You know, it's like, they, being like have taught, we're protectors. We're defenders. I see and have been the giver of so much benevolence towards women, that's where our heart is directed. But we are living in a time where women at every turn hate men. They demonstrate their hatred. Sometimes it's, from the ones closest to us. Why? Because we're all caught up on gender identity, all the petty stuff, and not on the things that matter.
Yes, the election.
Well, I mean,
matters.
People focus on the election, but for the wrong thing. They're voting on petty issues. Like very few people are.
Petty issue is abortion a petty issue? Is that I'm talking about when we're talking about?
It depends on what side you're voting for.
Okay.
If you're voting in order to encourage abortion, yes, that's petty.
Yeah. Half of the country would disagree. All right.
Of course. I mean, I would, most things I say, I expect at least 80% of people will disagree with. But we are being shaped in a way that is unwise. We're being shaped in a way that rejects wisdom. It's petty. I mean, I learned something. I mean, that I already knew, but I experienced it. How that if you try to pull somebody up,
Yeah.
and give them some knowledge that they're lacking in, if they are of another opinion, they will hate you, right? Because I had a conversation with someone who was expressing the propensity or the disposition to use deadly force against someone who was threatening to punch them. And I tried to convey to them a sense of the value of human life. And so he wasn't listening, so I tried different angles to express that thought to him. But it kind of, the conversation kind of twisted, and it kind of went more or less around the debate as to whether the world is a better place today. But for all of those disagreements that we those arguments that we disagreed on, the brother he basically just shunned me. He just didn't want to have nothing to do with me because I had a different opinion about the value of human life. Are you able to hear me? Did you drop off? Yeah, so that's how this generation is. This generation, I really would classify it as not having an identity, struggling with their true identity. I ain't talking about no gender and racial identity. I'm talking about personal identity, about what they actually believe and what's most important in life. I really don't think that most people can articulate that very well with conviction. Yeah, so I hope that I mean, I don't know what. Yeah, so I think that it's the media and a lot of that hidden hand, a lot of people who behind the scenes who are basically running the show, is pitching these ideas to the media that the media keep running at this generation, causing them to put more emphasis on the petty things than the things that really matter. The thing that matters the most are people, and people form community. So community matters a lot, but when you are focused on identities like racial identity, gender identity, then it's going to make you very one side, very selfish, and all of your attention would be on self. You're more concerned about self, your image, your swag, how you are perceived, how you come across, what you're getting, rather than community. That's why on my show, Truth and Conversation, I make it's about male-female relationships of all sorts, because those are the building blocks of community, and that's where community starts. So if you're going to have community, and if that community is going to grow, it's going to have strong female relationship and male and female relationships, which we don't have now because of gender identity. They have taught women to hate men, to reject masculinity, and a man without masculinity is not quite a man. He's defective, and a defective man is not constructive for a community. So, any woman that has even her actual self-interest at heart would not hate men but support a man being a man. But we don't, that's not what we get. Instead we get what's called toxic masculinity. We get this myth of the deadbeat dad. Even though a lot of your deadbeat dads are deadbeat by the wish of the mom. So we have to define and perhaps redefine deadbeat mom, because we think of deadbeat as being absent and not there. But anytime that you don't put your child first, that's deadbeat. So the child can actually be in the home with the deadbeat parent. Given all of the surveys, all of the science research that we've done, showing how that children with no father in the home are much worse off. There's no effort by these women to keep the father in the home, to make him want to be there, giving him a reason to be there. No, because it's all about her exercising her rights, her women's rights, her parental rights, her rights over her body. Everybody's concerned with the right that man says that they have. So I suggest that there's a higher right that we should be concerned with, and if we all concentrated on that right, we'll be all right. So once again, while my brother Cliff is having trouble with his audio, I just will invite you all to listen to Truth in Conversation, and really think about your male-female relationships, not just romantic ones, but family relationships, work relationships between male and females. Whether it's mom and son, father and daughter, auntie and nephew and uncle and niece. All of your male-female relationships is very important, and it's important because we live in a time where women are offended at men being men, and men being men is nothing toxic. Men being men is something productive for us all. It's a necessity for strong community. But so often what I find is that women, like for example, you find a lot of women these days. I see a lot of I can't think of the term, trolling, right? That they seem to be trolling. They go and they ask women, like, are men stronger than women? And these women actually have to think about it. And after actually thinking about it, a lot of them come up with the answer no. Because they can't give men credit for anything. Now, if you ask them about certain things that women have an advantage over men, then they will come out and clearly and quickly define those things, those advantages. But so they want credit for their advantages, but when it comes to other people's advantages, in this case men, somehow it can't be done. And, people really don't see the unfairness in that. Our society doesn't seem to have a problem with that, or be able to express how that's not fair or right. So I really encourage you to tune into the show, like, subscribe, comment, share. I would appreciate it, and not just listen to the show, but take it into advisement and let it consider it in your behavior and your choices. All right, so I know you all heard enough from me. I really would like to hear from you guys. Comment, suggestions, opinions. Let's see. Yeah, really would like to hear from you guys. Because I know I know where I get my information from, so I know my information is accurate, but I would like to know what you think. I would like to know where you stand on these issues. Am I along in this issue, or am I crazy? So let me know. Yeah. And make sure that you stop by Truth and Conversation. Like, subscribe, share, leave a review. In a comment, we'd appreciate it. This is Underground Railroad TV show with your co-host from Truth and Conversation, Prophet Johnson. I hope that you have gained something from hearing the show. It has given you some ideas to help you grow. Y'all gonna try to want to set up a survey. All right, that's what I'm trying to do. All right, so here's what we do.